Okay, so today we're going to be learning about how can we apply rational functions to the real world. So I'm going to start off talking about iPhones, since all of you know what iPhones are. I'm sure many of you probably have iPhones. So we're going to talk about how much does it cost to make an iPhone. So this is all a bunch of data that talks about the cost of all the different parts and everything for the iPhones. So this was the original iPhone when it came out. So down here at the bottom, it cost them $245.83 to make the 4 gigabyte iPhone, while it was $280.83 to make the 8 gigabyte iPhone. Okay? So go ahead and just write that down. You can fill that in on your notes. Really, the important thing is the $245.83 for the 4 gigabyte iPhone. That's one that we're going to really talk about. So that's how much it costs them to just make the iPhone. But then there's the thing, how much did it cost for them to spend on advertising? And I know this just says advertising, but there's other parts, like they had to pay their workers, they had to pay for the building, electricity, water, all of that. So how much do you think that costs? I want you to just take a guess right now how much you think that would cost. I'll give you a few seconds to write down a thought, and then I'll tell you what it really cost them. Okay, so it cost them 91, not thousand, $1 million just for all of those things. Okay? And when the iPhone originally came out, they cost $499 to buy. Okay? So sorry, I kind of put that in the wrong spot. So it cost $245.83 to make them, but they cost $499 when they came out. And there's about $91 million spent on advertising and other costs for the iPhone. Okay, so the fixed cost, that's the cost that doesn't change. They spent $91 million on the advertising. Okay, so that number's not going to change. While the cost for each iPhone, it costs $245.83 to make. So the cost to make an iPhone, or our function, would be $245.83 multiplied by x, so x is how many iPhones are being made, plus $91 million. Okay, so this is our cost function, or c of x, equals that. But, you know, this doesn't look like a rational function, so I want to know what's the average cost. So c bar, what's the average cost to make an iPhone? It's really close to our cost function. It's just $245.83 times x plus 91 million all over x. So we just divide it by each iPhone that was made. So now you need to compute how much does it cost to produce 10,000, 10 million, and 30 million iPhones. I'm going to go ahead and just change this a little bit. I want to know how much does it cost to produce all of those for the average. Okay, so I want to know the average. So use your c bar function to compute these. So I would go ahead and just pause the video right here, but I'm going to go ahead and just write the answers. So you should pause first. Okay, so if I plug in the 10,000, it costs them on average $9,345.83 per iPhone. Now if they made 10 million, it cost them $254.93. While if they made 30 million iPhones, it cost them $248.86. Okay? So for each iPhone, it gets cheaper the more they make. Because those fixed costs, that 91 million, is getting spread out over all of the different iPhones that were made. Okay? So here's the question I have for you, and I want you, after I ask this question, to stop, and I want you to talk with those around you about this, okay? So, why did they sell the iPhone for $499 when if they sold 30 million of them, it only cost them $248.86? Why would you think they would make the price at almost $500? So you should pause the video right now, talk to your neighbor, and then you should come back and I'll talk about this a little bit. So you should have talked to your neighbor by now, and this is what I want you to notice. They need to price point it somewhere where they think of how many they're going to sell while still also being able to make a profit. If they only sell 10,000 iPhones, they would need to make each of them more than $9,345.83. So they need to guess, how many are we going to sell? So if they think that they're only going to sell maybe around, 5 million, 4 million, that may make it to where each iPhone costs them $500 to make. But in this instance, they probably guessed that they're going to sell around, somewhere around that 10 million mark. And that way they can make a couple $100 per iPhone and make a profit. But they have to guess. So that's the big idea there, is that really they need to guess to get that. Now you're probably thinking, how does this relate to rational functions? Well, we had to divide by x. So if they make 0 iPhones, does it really matter about that $9 million? I mean, they probably, if they weren't making an iPhone, why would they spend 91 million on advertising? So this is just kind of how a rational real-life function could exist.